Hi fellow Techstars, it's day 2 of our Master Excel in 30 Days challenge. Today, we're going to look at how we can enter data into our spreadsheet and then handle a few things. So join me as we do that together. Also, note that the roadmap has been shared and pinned to the description. So continuing from where we stopped yesterday, entering data into a cell, you just need to click on the cell to get the cell active. An active cell is a highlighted cell, so you see the green border around it. Then you can quickly enter some data into the cell like this. Whatever data you want to enter into the cell, you can quickly do it like this. Now the question is, what if I have some data already in there and I want to edit it? I want to change the data there. For example, in cell D8, I want to change the content of cell D8. Okay, so what happens if I just enter a new data? It's kind of erases the old data and replaces it with the new data, right? But what if I don't want to do that? I don't want to erase it. Probably I just want to add on to it. So let's do that with cell C5. Now I want to make cell C5's content to be 51. So I just need to double tap it and then place 1 by it, and then now I can have 51 as the content of cell C5. So in entering data, that's the difference between clicking on a cell and clicking in a cell. Clicking on a cell means you are entirely replacing the cell with the new data that you have when entering data. But when you click in the cell, then you can edit just a few characters in the cell. Now we are going to look at how to automatically fill your Excel sheet with data. So assuming I have a pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's obvious that there is a pattern with increment of 1 on each cell I move to. But imagine I'm doing this for 1,000 cells. I'll need to manually enter 1, 2, 3 to 1,000. No, I don't need to do that. So Excel automatically tries to pick the pattern here. I just have to highlight the pattern here and then drag it onto the number of cells I want it to affect, so that Excel automatically identifies the pattern and then generates the rest of the characters or the rest of the inputs in the other cell. So I just have to highlight. And then drag it to as many as I want, and then you see it right there. It's automatically increased each value in the cell by 1. I can continue to drag for as many cells that I want it to affect. So you might be curious, does it only work with increment of 1? No. Let's try 5. And my next one is 10. And in my next is 15. And then 20. Now, what do we say we do? We highlight the pattern first. Then we drag down to as many cells as we like. Can you see? It identified the pattern that we have a difference of 5 between 2 consecutive cells. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 moving in that order. So we get to 75, right? Because that is where I dragged it up to cell B17. So yes, this is how we can automatically populate our sheet with data. Assuming I don't want to end at 75, I want to go on to populate this sheet with so much data. All I need to do is to highlight the range again, then come to the right bottom side of the last cell where my icon changes to become a black plus sign, and then double click. Just like we have in Word documents and other Microsoft products, we can copy and paste. We can come to this cell B6, and copy by right clicking or control click to copy, then come to an entirely new cell, click on it to make it active, and then paste. Now in pasting, we have 2 types of paste. We have paste and paste special. when you click on paste, you just want to paste the content of the copied cell. And when you click on paste special, it gives you the option to paste using the formatting or just the content. Do you just want to paste the content, or you want to paste the content using the formatting of the copied content? All right. So we are just going to click paste here. But assuming I've given this a formatting, like change the background color to blue, and I'm trying to copy this to paste in an entirely new cell, and I want to keep the formatting, I mean the background color and the text and all that, I have to click on keep source formatting. Then you see I have a similar thing here, same background color with the text, with the content, right? So that's about copy and paste. So we are able to entirely cut and then paste. So with cut and paste, it's just like you're moving the content of one cell to another. So here our cell was around C9, and then we moved it to E10, sorry, E11. But with copy and paste, our content was in B10, and we copied it to E14. So that way we still have, it's just like a duplicate. We have another copy at the original source. So that's the difference between copy and paste. Now in Excel, you would really love to use shortcuts. I'll do a cheat sheet and then share it in the description in the further lessons we are going to have, so that you don't have to be right clicking to copy and paste. Usually it saves time if you can just use the keyboard shortcuts. That's Ctrl C, Ctrl V, cut and paste. In edit, we also have what we call undo and redo. Assuming I realize that I made a mistake, I don't want to have the 40 with the background color of blue. I just want to go back on the steps. So assuming I realize that I made a mistake, I don't want to have 40 with the background color of blue. I made some mistakes. I want to go back on my steps. I can just click edit, undo, or Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, and then redo in Windows Control Y. Right. Now in Excel, you can insert columns, delete columns, insert rows, and delete rows. So assuming you have this column, I realized that I didn't do much with row 1, so I want to delete row 1. So I just select the row 1 by the number 1, then control click or right click and delete. The numbers shift to the top, right? So assuming after 33, I jumped right ahead to 35 and 36, and I realized that I omitted the number 34. So what I'm going to do is come to row 34, control click, and what I'm going to click is insert. Then it's going to insert a new row for me to be able to put the value 34 so that I can maintain the pattern that I had. So that is how we insert rows in Excel. Probably you are working on something and then you realize that you want this column to come before the other column, or you just totally omitted a full column. You can just click on the next right column, control click on it and insert. And now you see I have a new column with no data. I have a new column with no data where I can manipulate. Yes. So that is how we insert rows and columns and delete rows and columns in Excel. Now, assuming I have some data, that has transcended the width of my column. And now it's disturbing because when I come to D, it looks as if this value is in D, but actually it's not. It's still in C. Because when I come to D and I try to clean, nothing will clean. Yes, so that's how you know that it's still in C. So I want the width of C to adjust to the length of this so that I can navigate things clearly here. So all I need to do is to come to the edge of the column C and double click to automatically adjust it to the size or to the width of the content of my cell. So that's how you can easily resize, or you can do that manually by moving it. And then once you bring the cursor to the edge of the column and then the arrow or the icon changes to a black plus sign, you can easily move. Now you can quickly highlight a whole column by just clicking on the letter and then it highlights the whole column, or clicking on the number and highlights the whole row. Then I can easily manipulate. Now find and replace. So I'm trying to look for the number 50 to replace it with the number 25. One easy way I can do that is, so I have to come to home, find and select, find or replace. That means once I find it, I want to replace it with a particular value. I click on replace. In Windows, you can have this shortcut Control H to do that. So what am I trying to find? I'm trying to find the number 55. What do I want to replace it with? I want to replace it with 25. Then I click find all. So I have find all. I have the number 55 and the number 155. So I can replace all. And then you realize that 55, this cell B12 where I had 55 has been replaced with 25. So that's how we can quickly replace files. Sorry, that's how we can quickly replace values in cells. So like I said, in Windows, all too soon, we've come to the end of day 2's lesson for Master Excel in 30 days. I want to see you in the next lesson on day 3. Let's do this together. If you have any questions, just remember, drop it in the comment section or join us on our WhatsApp group and then ask any questions you have about our tutorials. See you soon. Bye.